I have come to realize that most people have a black and white thinking. And what do I mean about that? I'm saying that most people do have a black and white thinking about issues and topics and problems and whatever it is. Because they don't want to accept why somebody do the stuff that they do, right? I'm gonna give you a few examples for you to understand where I'm coming from. One of the example is, why do people get suicide? It's plenty of reasons why people do it, but most people cannot understand why somebody would do that, and they're gonna call them all, but they're selfish or whatever it is. Okay, for you they're selfish, but for the person who did it, they had maybe one reason or multiple reasons why they did it. Or another reason, why did somebody got an abortion? Now, a lot of people don't want to accept that it's because it's their choice, or they have multiple reasons why they got an abortion, right? Some people are just like, oh, they're just selfish. Okay, and that's black and white thinking. A lot of people just want right or wrong, yes or no. And life is not about black and white. Life, the world, problems, issues, everything is complicated. Everything is gray area. We live in a world that is gray area. Everything is nuanced. Every little issue that you could think of has nuance. Every little problems that you could think of is complicated. It is complicated and different. Everybody has different opinions about everything. So of course the world, it's not going to be black and white. But a lot of people don't understand that everything is gray area. Everything, we live in a gray area. Humans are complicated, and a lot of people, most people just want everything to be simplicity, and that's not how the world works. That's not how humans work, because humans have to go through emotions, go through empathy, have to go through how they grew up, their trauma, their culture, what kind of culture they grew up in, the religion that they grew up in, the area that they grew up, the state, the country, the people around them. Everything is the reason why they think the way it is. In everybody's eyes, everybody has a story. Everybody has a story, and every story is different. Yes, it may have similarities. We all have similarities. We all probably had childhood trauma. Most people have childhood trauma, but but your story is going to be different from person B or person C, person D, because you're a different person than B, C, and D, right? And so on. So that's how we live in a gray area. But a lot of people, most people don't want to realize that life is a gray area. When people talk about topics, they want simplicity answer, and that's not how humans work at all. Humans are very, very complex, very complicated people. Humans like to complain, right? We like to talk. We like to tell our problems. But most people don't want to resolve, right? Also, listen to me. If all these issues were so simplicity like most people think it is, these problems would have been fixed centuries ago. Because if you think about it, all these issues are all the same. It's just different layers to it, just different bag, different what's another metaphor? A different shade. That's it. That's all. These centuries, if you listen to philosophy, if you listen to books about history, all these issues been the same issues that we've been going through for centuries and centuries. It's because humans are so complicated. These issues that we have in 2025 is not really that different than issues from the 1800s or whatever years it is. It's not. Literally, we've been having the same conversation about men versus women, what women's role should be. What else? I can't. Oh my God! So many issues that can. Abortion, jobs. What is, what kind of jobs do we have to work until we die? Kind of work. Do we have to work 60 hours a week? These topics been talking about for centuries. It's just in different forms. That's it, in different forms. All the topics that people talk about in 2025, they've all been here for centuries. If people who think black and white, that which is literally most people, if people really think that these topics are like simplicity, then why these topics have not been solved? If most of these problems been here already for centuries, go listen to some philosophy. Go listen to something. These issues been around forever, just with different skin, different. You know how a snake changes its skin, just like that. That's how all these problems is. It's just in a different skin, just in a different form. We need to just realize that we are better off if we work together and realize that we may have similarities. Yes, we may have similarities, but at the same time, we are different. Men and women, it doesn't matter. We are humans. We're just humans. There are some strong women who are stronger than men. There are some men who are weaker than other men. You know what I mean? It's like everybody is different. Every person is unique. And I think that's the problem. The problem is that people don't realize that everybody is unique in their own personal way. Everybody wants to be in everybody. The problem with the people the problem is most people who think black and white, they want to put everybody in a box. Oh, she's white. She is white woman and single. She goes in this single box. Like everybody thinks that we have to be in a box. And to be honest, that's not how life works. Every human being is a unique person with unique thoughts, with unique perspective, with unique life. And we all gonna agree to disagree in so many levels. All of them. We may kind of understand where you're coming from. We need to understand each other, and I think that's the problem. We don't want to understand each other at all, and that's where it comes from. We just want to say, you're wrong, I don't want to hear you, you're wrong, you need to cancel. No, listen to the person. I know there are a lot of extremists who don't want to hear the other side because they really think that they're right, and those extremes are way they're very out of their mind. They have so much trauma. People who are religious, extreme religious, people who think that everybody should go back to 1850s and women's all that. Those people are mentally ill. Those people have so much trauma that they have to put other groups of people into a box and make laws get changed because they have trauma. The reason why we have so much issues in this country is because these people have trauma. You don't want to hear that, but it's true. They have trauma, and that's the reason why they treat people like shit. That's the truth. They see themselves, they don't want to accept who they are. They don't want to fix themselves. So what they do, they attack people. I may not agree with everybody because we don't supposed to agree with everybody. We are not supposed to agree with everybody. We're supposed to be unique. We cannot agree with everybody, all right? But what we could do is listen to them, understand where they come from, have empathy from them, and realize some people, the reason why they are the way they are is because they are they have so much generation trauma or just childhood trauma that they just attack the other person. That's the reason why extreme religious people who hate seeing a female success, a female getting an abortion or whatever it is, they have trauma in them. Their generation trauma is like in them. They think they're right, but no, they're not right. You know, I am in the belief of let everybody be. Yes, we should have some rules. We should have some rules in a country to survive and to have. But I feel like we got too much rules. We keep adding rules and rules and rules. Can't do this. Can't do that. Can't do that. And eventually, what's gonna happen is that people are gonna find ways to break the rules in their own way. Some people are gonna bend them. Some people are gonna do a hush hush. Some people are gonna do all this stuff, right? And I could see that some rules are good. Has to be rules that we all could agree. It has to be rules that make sense, common sense rules. But then when it comes to not common sense rules, because we tend to have stupid rules, and I cannot think of right now because I just want to ramble right now. We tend to have so many rules for no reason, and that's the problem. Okay, I talk too much, but anyway, I was gonna say, all right, I know the world, okay, let's just pick one issue, right? Abortion, right? Half of the country hates abortion. Half of the country is okay with abortion, right? I'm pro-choice, so I think abortion is a correct thing because it is a human choice. It's a woman's who's pregnant choice, right? But I also think it should have rules to it. Yes, it cannot. There's no human, no female in the world is having abortion at 9 months. That is complete lie. That's the lie. At that point, you're giving birth, right? But anyway, so it's like have rules for it, yes, but common sense rules. And everything is complex. Everything is very complex. Life is complex. Every issue is complex. So the word abortion, right? We could make, let's just say, for example, this is an example, and don't take it. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm just gonna go with it. All right. So when it comes to abortion, half of the country agrees with it, half of the country doesn't agree, right? And we should have some rules to it, I agree. But also, abortion is a complex, is a nuance. It's not black and white, it's a gray area. There you go. It's a gray area. But it's no human being is having abortion at 9 months. That's crazy. That doesn't happen. But also, there are situations, a lot of situations that a pregnant woman who wanted the baby, right? And at 6-7 months, something very, very bad happened to her. Very bad, right? And she's like, either she's gonna die or save the baby, right? What if she has other kids in the house? You know what I mean? What about that? But that's what I'm trying to say. Every issue, every issue, every problem, every topic is very gray area. It's too many complications in life. We are humans. We complicate everything. We're not robots, and I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem with most people who think black and white. Most people think that we think like a robot, but we're not like a robot. We're human beings who is complex, who has gray areas, who have nuance, who have all this stuff. We're not gonna, nothing happened. Like, I know I'm just rambling, and that's fine. But my whole point is that, what is my whole point? Anyway, Whew. Anyway, I just want to say that the world is great. We complicated. We humans are complicated. That's my whole point. My whole point is humans are complicated. We live in a world that is gray area, nuanced, complex. We have all these emotions that we have to go through, right? All these emotions. And anger is an emotion, guys. You have a lot of emotions that you don't want to accept, and that's another issue. That's another problem that we have in this society. Men, guys, boys don't want to accept that anger is an emotion. Anger is an emotion, people. Anger is an emotion. A lot of guys are so angry. That's an emotion. Anyway, I just want to say that this world is great. So stop thinking that every issue, every problem, every topic is very simple, a yes or no, because that's not how it works. Because if it was, then would have been fixed centuries ago. Anyway, have a good day. I've been rambling, and I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from. But bye.